Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 8, a murder suspect found in Peru is finally extradited back to LA. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Laura Diaz.
And I'm Chelsea Edwards. Thanks so much for joining us. A man is in custody back in the United States after authorities say he allegedly stabbed his wife to death.
Authorities also believe he dumped her body in the Angeles National Forest and then fled to Peru. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos at LAX, where that man arrived earlier tonight. Ed?
Yeah, you're right about that, Laura. The man arrived, the extradition of a suspected killer, but there's been a bit of a delay because of some logistics here at the airport. Let's get into that. A live look. This is a look inside the Tom Bradley International Terminal, the customs area, to get you caught up to speed here. That flight coming in from Lima, Peru, it arrived here on time just about an hour ago, but a good delay of about 45 minutes or so as they were trying to get to an open gate. So they were waiting on the tarmac, the jet, and eventually a gate opened up about 10 minutes ago, so they pulled in now, and they're starting to plane everybody. But again, it all deals with the extradition of a man who was wanted here in the States for murder. To the video we go, get you caught up on the story. There is the target of this manhunt, 36-year-old Josimar Cabrera. Is taken into custody with that booking picture, if you will, down by police in Lima, Peru, after he gives himself up. And really the manhunt turns in, and it really heats up after this video is released. Chilling video. Haunting video. That's Cabrera, and investigators say what he is having trouble struggling with there, pulling along, wrapped in curtains and blinds, is the body of his wife, 33-year-old Shayla Cabrera. She was found stabbed multiple times, dead in her couple's apartment in Lancaster last August. Short time after that video, 2-3 days, there's a big search, and her body is found in a remote area of the Angeles National Forest by a search and rescue team. So that makes her husband the prime suspect, but he's nowhere to be found. He escapes, gets away with his 3 young children. He goes back to his native Peru. The investigation is on. He's spotted at the airport. They're friends of Shayla would not let this go. They demanded justice. They gave investigators that ring video, that chilling video. It got the investigation, the manhunt going, and Cabrera eventually gives himself up, held there as they deal with the extradition and all the paperwork that's involved. The children are safe, and now finally Cabrera on a plane landing here in the States, and shortly will be taken into custody as we come back out here. The U.S. Marshals will hand him over, we expect, to the L.A. County Sheriff's Department. He'll be taken to the men's central jail, booked, and we understand he is due in court first thing Monday morning. But Laura's, as he is back in custody, and you've been following the story, doing the story firsthand when it first broke last August, we know the good news in all of this is that the children, the 3 little boys, they are safe and sound back in Peru, right?
Yes, they're there with Shayla's mother, living in Peru now. And Ed, if I'm understanding you correctly, so he has arrived, but you haven't actually seen him.
No, we haven't had lays eyes on him yet. Still, the big delay was getting that plane up to the gate. And it's still a question, to be frank with you, if we will be able to see him, because a lot of times because of security, and in this case you're talking about a suspected killer, they may bring him out the backside of the plane, right down onto the tarmac, put him in a black and white, a sheriff's black and white. The handoff would take place there, and quickly on the backside of the airport they would drive away. So it's undetermined yet exactly what route they'll take for safety reasons when they're dealing with a suspect of this nature.
All right, Ed, thank you so much. It's a story we'll continue to follow, of course.
The Department of Homeland Security is claiming a victory lap, reporting 10,000 undocumented people have been arrested in the LA area since the ICE raids began. Fox 11's Nick Garcia tonight with that story.
As the year winds down, 2025 in Los Angeles will be marked by massive ICE operations. The Department of Homeland Security now saying it has made more than 10,000 arrests in Los Angeles since June, claiming those include murderers, kidnappers, sexual predators, and armed carjackers. Critics question the data.
It might be true, we don't know, that 10,000 people have been apprehended in Los Angeles. We have to also remind people that doesn't mean that 10,000 people have been deported. Many of those people have been released.
Ron Goches represents Union del Barrio and has called out ICE tactics, including the so-called Operation Trojan Horse in Westlake back in August, in which agents jumped out of a Penske moving truck and detained people. The Department of Homeland Security has not said how many of the 10,000 have criminal records or how many were deported, but is touting the number as a success, given the pushback by local and state officials.
We are doing our targeted enforcement operations against criminal illegal aliens. Individuals that are in that area may be detained until we verify who they are, and then they are released.
DHS says the operations will continue, even as some question the legality of their tactics.
We know that they are absolutely doing, racial profiling. We know that they are kidnapping people off the streets, including many U.S. citizens who have documented and testified that they haven't been picked up for no other reason than the color of their skin.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
All right, Nick, thank you. We had a beautiful day out there today. We're looking at, I don't know what we're looking at here, something very pretty. Looks like the LA basin, I think, from Mount Wilson. There we go, Mount Wilson. You see that little cloud cover there. Gorgeous day out there. Didn't even really feel like winter. Is that going to change, Star? Are we getting some winter weather coming in, or can we enjoy this sunny skies forever?
No, we can definitely enjoy a little bit more of what we've had. So we're going to be holding on to temperatures above where they should be as we do roll into our weekend. So if you did enjoy what we had most of this week, minus a few degrees there with our temperatures, I think you'll enjoy the weekend as well. Now, two things that we will be talking about in the weather department this evening is going to be our dense fog advisory. A lot of us across the Santa Monica and stretching all the way down through Long Beach, Torrance, have seen some of that fog here throughout our Friday. We'll be covering that, but also our air quality alert going into this weekend. While we're on the topic of our dense fog advisory, here's a look at our visibility. It is being impacted locally. We do show some areas across our coastline down to Long Beach, Santa Monica, under 5 miles. The LA area, we're starting to see some of this fog seep into our inland region. Of course, we are likely to see some of that roll over into tomorrow morning as well. We'll be talking about that, but also temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s across the area. I do have a full forecast for your weekend coming up, plus your 7-day. For now, back to you, ladies.
We'll look forward to that. And developing tonight, an LA mother was stabbed while changing her baby's diaper inside of a Macy's in New York City. The victim and her husband both work for the LA County Sheriff's Department. Police say the 38-year-old woman was attacked yesterday afternoon in the bathroom of Macy's Herald Square store. She was stabbed with a kitchen-type knife in the back and in the arm in an unprovoked attack. Now, thankfully, her 10-month-old baby was not hurt, and the mother was released from the hospital today. Her husband told the New York Post she is better.
Horrifying. It's heartbreaking, really. And as a woman, it's just upsetting. You just can't trust anyone. It's a shame.
That's truly shocking and terrible, especially around the holidays.
A 43-year-old homeless woman, Carrie Ahern from Massachusetts, has been charged with attempted murder and acting in a manner injurious to a child. Macy's says it's deeply saddened by the incident. The NYPD is leading that investigation.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but some people just don't know what they're doing.
Dramatic crash leaves a Santa Monica building in shambles, a driver hospitalized, and a family forced out of their home just days before Christmas. Witnesses say the impact was so strong it sent debris flying across the street. Now, this crash happened last night. This is Santa Monica Boulevard near Princeton Street. Authorities responded to reports of a BMW slamming into a 2-story building. Now, the first floor housed a printing shop, but the second floor was actually home to a family, and they were inside at the time when the Beamer hit that wall.
I heard a car either driving too fast or accelerating not correctly. Then I heard the vehicle lose control. Then I heard a crashing sound. When I sat up, the car was going through the building across the street. It bounced or something, and it still had momentum. There was dust everywhere, and so I dodged behind the tree. Once I saw it was safe, I looked out. People were already seeing if the driver was safe.
Incredible damage there. Now, the driver was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries, and we're told the displaced family includes a 5th grader. Tonight, their home has been red tagged, meaning it's too safe to stay inside. No telling when or if they're going to be able to move back in.
Sky Fox over La Cañada High School earlier today. That is where emergency crews responded to a call about a chemical incident. 2 people required medical attention, though the nature of the chemical involved remains unknown at this hour. Hazmat teams were on the scene to manage that situation. Meanwhile, students and staff were evacuated from the building and could be seen on the field.
Tonight, Arizona's Attorney General Chris Mays warning about hard drugs that are designed to taste like candy. Check this out. She says 1.5 pounds of fruity flavored cocaine was confiscated in her state after a convicted drug dealer allegedly used social media apps to sell it to teenagers. The Attorney General says the sweet flavors like strawberry and banana are being used as a marketing tactic by the cartels.
Mexican drug cartels are trying to expand their business outside the traditional young men or men by, selling this flavored cocaine. The notion is that young women might be attracted to, tropical flavors.
May is now calling on social media companies to be held accountable as well, saying their apps and their algorithms are facilitating these drug deals. She also says this flavored cocaine can be laced with the deadly opioid fentanyl.
Well, the Dodgers make a big move to strengthen their bullpen, signing star closer Edwin Diaz to a 3-year, $69 million deal. Diaz, who opted out of his Mets contract, now holds the highest annual salary for a reliever at $23 million. After 7 seasons with the Mets, Diaz opted out of his contract to head to Los Angeles. He was introduced today at Chavez Ravine. Diaz said he is thrilled to join the 2-time defending champs.
I want to say thank you to the Mets organization for what they did for me in the last years. Really, really happy, what I did there. Now we are in a new family. We are in the Dodgers. I came here to win. That's my goal, try to win another World Series with this great team. So I'm really happy to be here, and let's go Dodgers.
I like the sound of that. The Dodgers are counting on him to close games and address a weak spot from last season, as you will recall, as they eye a potential World Series three-peat.
A celebration of faith, tradition, and community in Linwood. Crowds gathered at Plaza Mexico to mark Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe. For the Catholic faithful, the event marks the Virgin Mary's miraculous appearance to Mexico's St. Juan Diego in 1531. The day is observed with processions, mariachi, and, of course, plenty of pan dulce.
I think what really impacts our community is the unity that allows everyone to come together and to celebrate in a very great space here at Plaza Mexico. So I think it's very dear and close to a lot of people's hearts.
Celebrations began last night, and festivities also took place today at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in downtown Los Angeles.
Still ahead right here at 8 o'clock, House Democrats drop new, never-before-seen images tied to Jeffrey Epstein, just days before a key Justice Department deadline. What they're revealing ahead.
Plus, could LA traffic be getting any better?
Nah.
I don't think so, but new data suggests that could be the case. Love that story coming up next.
LA traffic remains notoriously bad, but there's a tiny bit of good news. A new report from INRIX ranks LA as the 10th most congested city worldwide in 2025. Now that's down from 8th the year before. Experts point to ongoing remote work and fewer downtown commuters for that modest improvement. Even so, the average driver still lost 87 hours in traffic last year, costing about $1,600 per person. And a lot of headaches.
Don't we know it? House Democrats release more never-before-seen photos from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Now, this, of course, comes 1 week before the deadline for the Justice Department to release all of its files on the convicted sex offender. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the story.
A new batch of photos show just some of the powerful men sex offender Jeffrey Epstein socialized with, including former Harvard president Larry Summers, filmmaker Woody Allen, billionaire Bill Gates, and Presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump.
People should be able to make judgments on their own as to what they see in these photos. For us, this is about transparency.
Democrats released 19 photos Friday, a fraction of the 95,000 handed over by the Epstein estate. Republicans claim they're cherry-picking photos. In a statement, the White House says the Democrat hoax against President Trump has been repeatedly debunked, and the Trump administration has done more for Epstein's victims than Democrats ever have.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
The Department of Justice has until next Friday to release all the Epstein files in its possession. Secret grand jury transcripts from 3 cases involving Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell are also set to be made public.
And we're going to make sure that the Department of Justice complies.
All of the high-profile men in the photos, including Presidents Trump and Clinton, have denied any involvement in or knowledge of Epstein's crimes. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Coming up, from behind bars to brightening Christmas morning.
How inmates at Folsom State Prison are giving back by rebuilding bikes for kids in need. That's coming up next.
New tonight, with Christmas fast approaching, some inmates at Folsom State Prison are hard at work fixing up bicycles. The bikes will be donated to children in need. Fox's Juliet Vara takes a look.
From fixing up bikes to rehabilitating themselves.
This is the only good things that we did, and I've been in prison 36 years.
These inmates, serving time in Folsom Prison for drugs, guns, and theft, spend their days transforming broken pieces and discarded bikes into these new shining rides.
You're trying to make me cry right now, ain't you?
Just in time for Christmas. And as it turns out, the tools they use to fix bikes do more than just repair metal. They help inmates rebuild their lives, learn a new trade, and harness hope for a new beginning beyond these infamous prison walls.
Painting the bikes and getting all the rust off them and making them shine.
That's kind of like what's happening to you, right?
Yep.
Not being selfish, our own selfish needs anymore. You know, we're thinking about other people, and so that's a big part of like my recovery.
It's a Christmas tradition, giving inmates a sense of purpose since 1986.
The progress we make on them with cleaning them up and then getting our hands dirty with the grease and the grind, and it's just a good feeling, you know?
All of this is a community effort.
I need one more go.
The second and third graders collected over 26 bikes, and they also collected other odds and ends that the prisoners used to actually make the bikes better.
Others, like Trek Bicycle El Dorado Hills, making it part of their business model.
Parents can bring the bike back to us when they're ready for the next size, and then we bring those small bikes to this program.
For the 150 recipients, it's finally time to sing "Oh, What Fun It Is to Ride."
We take them to the Union Gospel Mission, and we raffle them off to the homeless.
After all, who needs Santa's sleigh when you have a bike from Folsom Prison?
There's going to be that many smiling kids Christmas morning with a new bike, and nothing beats that.
That was Fox's Juliet Vara reporting from Folsom State Prison near Sacramento.
The U.S. Coast Guard pulls off a dramatic rescue in Sumas, Washington. Take a look at this. They're airlifting 4 people who were trapped by record flooding. Rising waters forced a group into their attic as 8 to 10 feet of water cut off the home from local crews. So this video is showing a rescuer lowering itself onto the roof and then helping survivors climb out through an attic window before eventually hoisting them up to safety.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
Well, look at that. It's really, really deep fog.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that. It's certainly nothing like they're seeing up in Washington with those torrential downpours.
No, they're getting that atmospheric river that we have. So, you know, we hope that all those people are safe. Going to check in now with Star Harvey to get the latest on what our weather is going to be like locally.
Yeah, you know, we will get more of this through the rest of our Friday evening here, and then likely into the start of our weekend. We will start off with the clouds and potentially that fog, and then come the afternoon, we'll see plenty of sunshine out there, especially along our coast areas like Santa Monica, which is really hard to picture out there with all of that fog showing up on our camera. Our satellite and radar does show some of that fog not just sitting along the coast. Some of it is moving into our interior sections here. So across areas like Hawthorne, Gardena, Torrance, you are seeing some visibility issues. Here's a look into our dense fog advisory. It is primarily along our coast, so all the way as far north as the San Luis Obispo area, through our LA County beaches, but also down into Orange County. This is also going to include portions of the I-5 corridor. So again, if anyone's traveling up and through Frazier Park, the Tehachapi Mountains, you may run into some of that fog. It is in place until tomorrow morning at the 10 a.m. hour. In addition to that, we also have an air quality alert. This is going to include all of our blue area here, so a big chunk of our region, and this is going to be in place from midnight to midnight. This is because we do have a wood burn ban in place. Went ahead and checked on our air quality index sensors for today. For the LA area, we do have yellow on the map. Our air quality index at a 71. If we look over here, that puts us in a moderate zone, so not too bad. As we fast forward into the weekend, not too much changing with our air quality. Our numbers, our index will drop down just a few numbers, but that does still place us in that moderate zone. Temperature-wise, we've come down a lot from earlier today. LA, we did reach the 80s, and with that, we've dropped down to about 55 degrees right now. A little milder the further east you go across areas like the Inland Empire, Ontario, Santa Barbara, Corona, Riverside in the upper 50s to low 60s. Shifting gears tonight, don't forget about the fog. With that fog in place, not too much interruption with our temperatures along the coast. We'll still see the 50s. We'll have a few 40s popping off across the area as well. High deserts in the 30s, and of course our mountains expected to be sub-freezing. Here's a look at moving into next week. So a lot of eyes continuing on this atmospheric river. We do have our jet stream really pumping that moisture continuously into this section, and it is expected to remain there over the weekend and pushing through most of next week as well. I'll explain what happens after that with this rain, but also how dry we're expecting to be for the Christmas week. All that coming up for now. Back to you.
Thanks, Star. Still ahead right here, big decisions and heated debate at LA City Hall tonight. Council members voted to fund new police hires, but critics say it doesn't go far enough.
Plus, doctors prepared to remove a massive tumor and found a miracle instead. How a rare, life-threatening condition led to an unexpected birth. That's next.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Big decisions and fiery comments at LA City Hall today. Council members tonight have just approved a $1 million deal, $1 million for new police hires. But not everyone's on board. Some saying the money just isn't enough. Fox 11's Gina Silva reports.
The LAPD got additional funding, but it's nowhere near what the department was asking for.
And it's really just a reckless political theater. And it's awful because what's being gamed here is this idea that we're trying to prohibit hiring. And that's the furthest from the truth.
The LA City Council spent much of its meeting debating whether to approve a $4.4 million request to hire more LAPD officers. Some council members expressed frustration at being rushed into a major funding decision.
Do we follow a budget process that's grounded in honesty and fiscal solvency, or do we set aside our process to meet an entirely manufactured deadline?
For me, the health and safety of our constituents is number one. This will help us start growing back to the number where I believe that this city needs to be.
In the end, the council approved only $1 million increase, allowing a new class of LAPD recruits to start training in January.
LAPD has been spread way too thin. From the fires on January 7th to the civil unrest to today, we've watched them struggle to balance everyday needs with those concurrent commitments to staff multiple ongoing events and emergencies. We have major world events coming. Residents and businesses all over the city are begging for more police resources. Our 911 and emergency response times are already abysmally low.
Some council members expressed that they did not like being rushed to make this decision, and they were also concerned about taking money away from the reserve funds, which are designated for emergencies. Reporting from downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
A Reseda charter high school student snatched off the streets by masked ICE agents in August has been reunited with his family. 17-year-old Benjamin Guerrero Cruz was walking his dog in Van Nuys a few days before starting his senior year when he was detained. The Department of Homeland Security says the teen is originally from Chile and overstayed his visa by more than 2 years. Guerrero Cruz was taken to the Adelanto Detention Center, then transferred to Arizona without his parents' knowledge. California Congresswoman Luz Rivas spearheaded his release and says this is just the beginning.
Family should ever have to live through this. I will continue showing up to detention facilities to hold ICE and this administration accountable for the terror that they're forcing families to live through each day. I'm glad that Benjamin is home, and I hope he and his family can begin the healing process.
The Congresswoman says the teen was reunited with his family just in time for Thanksgiving.
With New Year's coming up fast, lawmakers are in a race against the clock on health care. As it stands, if Congress doesn't act to extend Affordable Health Care Act subsidies, millions will have their health care premiums skyrocket come January. Fox's Chad Pergram has the latest on the negotiations.
Everybody is coming together on the final plan. We're still working on the final details of it.
House Republicans undeterred by Thursday's Senate failure on health care. They're scrambling to put together a final plan of their own.
This is going to be a great piece of legislation that everybody will unite around, so stay tuned for the details.
But both Senate proposals, a GOP health savings account plan, and a Democratic bill to extend subsidies for 3 years collapsed Thursday. Democrats say there isn't enough time to start fresh.
The idea that we're going to try to start over when we have 1 week left in session, just days before Christmas, that's not going to get done.
The race to curb soaring health care costs comes as 19 days remain in 2025 and only a week remaining on the formal congressional calendar. Come January 1st, health care premiums will skyrocket for millions if Congress isn't able to extend the subsidies. For some, the solution is simple.
Make private health insurance more competitive and provide more affordable options from that market.
New York Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez blames House Speaker Mike Johnson. She says the stalemate is a byproduct of the government shutdown.
He kept Republicans home for over a month so that they would not negotiate and figure out a problem on health care.
Still, President Trump remains optimistic that a Christmas compromise is possible.
I really believe we can work on health care together and come up with something that's going to be much better.
Mike Johnson aims to move a health care bill next week, but it's unclear if it would include an extension of the Obamacare tax credits. That's the key to solving the crisis. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
A Bakersfield mother defied the odds to deliver a healthy baby despite a rare and dangerous abdominal pregnancy. 41-year-old Ryu Lopez was shocked to learn that she was pregnant while preparing to remove a 22-pound ovarian tumor. At Cedars-Sinai, doctors discovered her baby was growing outside of the uterus, a nearly unheard of condition. A team of 30 specialists safely delivered baby Ryu and removed the tumor. Both mom and baby are now thriving, calling the experience a true miracle.
And to see my child, alive and breathing, even if he cries, it's like, wow, your lungs work. Throughout the whole thing, I actually was in a lot of peace. I pray for peace all the time. So I wasn't worried.
I had a chance to speak to the family earlier this evening. Wonderful family, such a beautiful child, and Chelsea's going to tell you more about it a little later on. But the family wanted to give a special thank you to the medical staff at Cedars-Sinai for helping bringing their bundle of joy into the world just in time for the holidays. Chelsea?
Such a great story. Now, with Christmas less than 2 weeks away, the shopping frenzy is well underway. But the 2025 holiday season will be defined not only by tighter budget, but by what experts are describing as a brewing global cognitive burnout. Fox's Jerry Willis explains.
The holidays can be stressful. Consulting and research firm Accenture's holiday shopping survey found 85% of consumers saying buying holiday gifts is so overwhelming they decided not to make a purchase. And 76% say they're overwhelmed by too many options.
And there'll be huge promotions. You won't have a clue what's going on. You're just going to try to get the best deal and make sure you get presents for everyone in the family.
Employees are dealing with a lot, too. Accenture found 69% of retail frontline workers reported exhaustion just going into the holiday season. Many cite angry or impatient customers as their top source of stress. Etiquette experts remind shoppers that seasonal helpers are not CEOs who can make policy changes. They recommend customers reduce their own stress by planning shopping trips ahead and leaving themselves time. And a little smile can go a long way. Despite all this, 87% of consumers say they plan to spend the same or more on holiday shopping, up from 75% last year, though that reflects higher prices. And 8 in 10 consumers plan to use generative artificial intelligence tools for holiday shopping. They'll be tracking price drops and will summarize product reviews.
Anyone who bets against the American consumer over Christmas is pursuing a fool's errand.
Accenture says 85% of online shoppers abandon their digital carts because of frustration or indecision, a costly trend for e-commerce retailers. Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
And new tonight, Dana Point Harbor shining bright for its 50th annual Boat Parade of Lights. This year's theme is Golden Jubilee, Carol of the Boats, with $10,000 in prizes up for grabs. You can watch the parade from the boardwalk, from the waterfront restaurants, or you can book a charter boat to get a closer look. The parade began tonight, and it runs every night at 6:30 through Sunday.
It's always a treat if you haven't done it, right?
Love
Great
that
family
event.
fun.
Yep.
And right here, Hanukkah begins this Sunday, kicking off the start of the 8-day Jewish Festival of Lights. This holiday commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and the miracle of oil that lasted 8 days. Families around the world will celebrate by lighting the menorah, reciting prayers, and enjoying traditional foods like latkes, which are crispy potato fritters fried in oil to symbolize the miracle oil. Hanukkah is also a time for giving, reflection, and spending time with loved ones.
Well, coming up, another push for peace this weekend as Ukraine's president meets with Europe's top leaders.
But what could Ukraine be asked to give up to end the war? That story is next.
We are looking at beautiful weather this weekend. We have some issues with our fog out there. I'll be talking about that, but also, what does our Christmas holiday forecast look like? More of those coming up.
Another push for peace this weekend as Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky meets with top European leaders.
Any agreement may hinge on what territory, if any, Ukraine is willing to cede to Russia. Fox's Connor Hansen has more.
President Zelensky making a trip to the front lines Friday in eastern Ukraine, releasing a video thanking troops in a city they took back from Russian forces.
It is critically important to achieve results on the battlefield so that Ukraine can achieve results in diplomacy.
The visit comes as pressure mounts to reach a deal to end the war. Zelensky travels to Paris Saturday to meet with the leaders of France, Germany, and the UK.
The main issue here is what territories and concessions Ukraine is prepared to make. That is a question that must be answered primarily by the Ukrainian president and the Ukrainian people.
That meeting follows talks with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth on Thursday. President Trump has pushed a peace plan that would require Ukraine to hand over more land that Russia does not currently occupy. There have also been discussions about turning the strategic Donbas region into a free economic zone, with the militaries on both sides withdrawing. Zelensky says any decision to cede land would require a national referendum and is asking for security guarantees from the U.S. and Europe to prevent a future Russian invasion. The U.S. has not committed to attending this weekend's meeting in Paris.
We don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative. We want it to get settled. We want to save a lot of lives.
European leaders are expected to meet again Monday in Germany. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Still processing that. Heard that Chad Jessup told me, one of our equipment guys, when we were coming off the field on Thursday.
So still processing that, like a lot of people, I'm sure.
That's Chargers and former Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh's reaction to his former assistant, Sharon Moore, being arrested Wednesday. That was shortly after he was fired as head coach for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member at the University of Michigan. A judge set a $25,000 bond for the former University of Michigan head football coach today. Fox's Garrett Tenney has details.
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Sharon Banfield Moore.
Former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore's fall from grace on full display this afternoon as he appeared virtually from the Washtenaw County Jail to face charges of home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering.
Are we understood on the no contact and no go to, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
On Wednesday, school officials fired Moore for cause, terminating his $30 million contract at one of the most prestigious programs in college sports after his executive assistant submitted evidence of a years-long affair with the coach, who is married with 3 young daughters. Prosecutors say the 32-year-old assistant ended the relationship on Monday and that on Wednesday, after losing his job, Moore went to his former mistress's apartment, broke in, and grabbed butter knives and kitchen scissors.
And began to threaten his own life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life.
Prosecutors say Moore eventually left when his ex-lover threatened to call the police, who also received a call from Moore's wife.
For the Pittsfield unit's reference to domestic, we just got a call from S1's wife in Ann Arbor saying that the subject is suicidal, reference losing his job today.
Both prosecutors and the university say their investigations are ongoing, and they're asking anyone with information to send it in.
I think it's a little bit disturbing, and I think it sets a really bad tone for the university.
I think it's kind of crazy. He has a wife and kids, and he did what he did.
Sharon Moore is now out on a $25,000 bond under strict orders to continue his mental health treatments and not have any contact with his former assistant. His next court appearance will be in person on January 22nd. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Check this out. This morning in North Hollywood, a car slammed into a fire hydrant. Wow, sending water shooting into the air, flooding the streets around there. This was video shared on the Citizen app showing just how high the water got. It's like a geyser. This crash happened on Sherman Way near Laurel Canyon. It's a pretty wild scene there. It looks like flooding in the streets, but it wasn't actually flooding in the streets from weather, at least.
Yeah. When it comes to the weather, we've had an abundance of sunshine. Star Harvey's stepping in right now. And how about this weekend? Because a lot of people are going to be out celebrating holiday.
Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous this weekend. You know, we do have this fog issue out there, and it started last night, and it should wrap up by tomorrow. But then after that, we're going to be right back to just beautiful conditions. And it's not feeling like we're in, almost the middle of December here. It feels like we are in the summer. This week, we saw temperatures across some of the area 10 to 20 degrees above their normal. And as we get into this weekend, we do have a cooler pattern to settle in for Saturday, but still warmer than we are typically for the month of December. We do still have a high pressure system influencing our weather pattern. It is on the weaker side. And with that, let's get to some headlines. Again, just as I said, cooler for tomorrow, and then we do start back into a warming trend on Sunday. So very short span there for cooler temperatures to move in. We've been dealing with this dense fog since yesterday. It hasn't let up. In fact, we do continue with our advisories at least until tomorrow morning. And just giving you a sneak peek at our next rain chance, it is expected to arrive just a couple of days before Christmas, according to some of our models. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Temperatures outside right now, 55 degrees. We had plenty of sunshine earlier today across the LA area. Outside of LA, it's still a lot of 50s and 60s on the map, depending on where you are. We're at 50 in Palmdale, 57 in Oxnard, Riverside at 63, and over in Santa Barbara, temperatures at 55 degrees. Here's a look into tonight. Most of us outside of our coast will have beautiful skies out there, clear skies, and with that, temperatures dropping down into the 40s and 50s, so right around where they should be. Gonna go ahead and push play here on our futurecast, showing you that through this weekend, that jet stream continuing to pile in this moisture across the Pacific Northwest. Now, this is what it's going to look like next week. Notice that that storm track doesn't move Monday through Thursday. However, drawing your attention back down towards what's happening in Southern California, we do continue to be on the drier side. Not just dry, but also moving into the end of next week, we are going to trend again warmer than normal as well. And of course, getting to the chance for some rain moving in here on Christmas. We're talking about December 23rd through the 25th. This is me looking at a couple of models, our long-term and short-term, and trying to put them all together. How much are we talking? We're talking anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches. And again, we'll have to wait until we get closer to see how this really plays out for us. And I went ahead and checked last year. Last year, we were not just dry, but we were also having our temperatures near their averages. It's going to be good to see how that plays out. Fingers crossed that all that rain goes ahead and surpasses us. Tomorrow, we're going to be at 74 for LA, and then moving into our Sunday, temperatures remaining in the low 70s. Back to you.
All right, Star, thank you so much. We've still got much more news coming up ahead at 8.
But first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9 o'clock. A U.S. Army veteran and Purple Heart recipient voluntarily left the U.S. rather than face deportation. His story is sparking questions in Congress about how the immigration crackdown is affecting veterans.
Plus, rare deep-sea footage from Monterey Bay. Look at this thing. Scientists spot a 7-armed octopus nearly 2,300 feet below the surface. This is a creature so elusive, it's only been seen 4 times in 40 years. Find out what this mysterious giant was eating. Coming up ahead at 9. So the Who's of Whoville ultimately learned that Christmas is about more than just material things.
Well, that sentiment may be making a comeback this year as consumers experience sticker shock at price tags this holiday season. Fox's Connor Hansen reports.
With less than 2 weeks to go until Christmas, many Americans say it's not the Grinch stealing the holiday this year, but high holiday prices. A new AP NORC poll finds most adults feel like they're paying more than ever for gifts, groceries, and everything else. And that's got them feeling green.
It's not just about inflation rates. It's about the price level. And people still say things cost too much.
About half say they are delaying more big purchases than they usually would, and 4 in 10 are pulling more from their savings this year. 2/3 of Americans say the economy is in poor shape. That's unchanged from this time last year. The sour consumer sentiment comes at an inconvenient time for President Trump.
Some voters are putting them on the naughty list, and there's a question of how we can get on the nice one.
Frustrated by the polls and criticism from the left, the president claims the economy is doing better than ever.
Our prices are coming down tremendously from the highest prices in the history of our country.
But experts say the middle class is feeling their wallets get pinched.
As prices have gone up, their wages haven't gone up, so they're going to be on a tighter budget.
The White House says people will start to feel the effects of its economic policy much more next year, but the poll shows only about 2 in 10 people think things will get better. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
With Christmas less than 2 weeks away, St. Nick has a message for us. Seated in his chamber in the Arctic Circle, he says the holidays are a time for friends, families, and even nations to unite.
This Christmas, I hope that everybody could keep in mind that we have one world, one common home. We could all take a moment to think about how could Christmas bring us closer to each other? How could we all live in peace together?
Santa's village in Finland now is bustling with activity. Thousands of people from around the world are making their way to northern Finland to visit Santa.
So cool. See his beard? That was a serious beard.
It was, and I like what he had to say.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
Yeah, LA Live News Tonight continues at 9 right after the break. Stay with us.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Laura Diaz. A man is in custody back in the U.S. tonight after authorities say he allegedly stabbed his wife to death. Authorities also believe he dumped her body in the Angeles National Forest and then fled to Peru. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos at LAX, where the man arrived earlier tonight. Ed?
And Laura, we are talking about the extradition of a suspected killer here, and confirmation just a little while ago coming from the LA County Sheriff's Department that this prime suspect, Josemar Cabrero, is in fact back in the States. He is being held in custody right now, detention, before he's taken over to the jail and booked and goes to court first thing in the morning. Let's get to it. To the video we go. Here is the suspect we're talking about, the husband turned prime suspect, 36-year-old Josemar Cabrero, as he's taken into custody by police down in Peru. The international manhunt, it really heated up after neighbors up in Lancaster released this video from a Ring camera, chilling video, haunting video. That is Cabrera, and he's dragging something wrapped in curtains and drapery outside his apartment. And investigators say it's the body of his wife, Shayla, who was found stabbed to death a couple of days earlier. And then a few days after this video, they find the body of Shayla Cabrera in a remote area of the Angeles National Forest by a search and rescue team. And then that makes the husband the prime suspect. But you know what? He's nowhere to be found. He escapes on the run with his 3 young children, winds up going to his native Peru. The investigation, the manhunt is on there. He gives himself up in late August. The children, the 3 children, they are safe. And then the extradition process begins with Cabrera held in custody and now taking the flight from Lima, Peru, arriving here in LAX and back in the States to face justice as we come back out live. The interesting thing about this, and Laura, you were following the story right from the grisly beginning last summer, is the close-knit neighbors there in that Lancaster apartment complex. They knew Shayla, said she was a devoted mom, worked several jobs with her 3 young children. And they were devastated, and they still are, over that loss or tragic death, saying there were claims of domestic abuse, domestic violence. They tried to help her, but in the end it was too late. So the prime suspect, the husband, is back here in the States. And Laura, when we talk about those 3 children, the 3 young boys, we know with your contacts, right, that they are safe and sound, but they're still back in Peru.
Yes, that's exactly true, according to the person I talked to, who'd been one of the main organizers speaking on behalf of all those moms. And he told me that the boys are with Shayla's mother. They're living there in Peru, that they're safe. But of course, they're devastated because, in effect, they lost both their parents, first their mother, and now their dad incarcerated. But they've been through so very much. But still, authorities have worked very hard to extradite him back here. How long did it take him, do you think, to get through the airport, Ed?
Well, there was a delay because the flight first arrived, Laura, from Lima, Peru. It was due here at about 6:05 or so. It touches down, but there was a good almost hour delay because it was waiting for an open gate at the Tom Bradley International Terminal to pull in. Once that finally happened, a little around 8 o'clock, they started to board the plane with all the passengers. Of course, a security risk. The U.S. Marshals brought Cabrera out the backside, put him in a black and white. The LA County Sheriff's Department, they handled it from there. Interesting, remember the DA, Nathan Hochman, when all of this began, he had some sharp words for this suspect, saying he had horrific acts, wanted to bring him to justice, and now on this Friday night, it seems like that is exactly the case.
All right, Ed, we thank you so much for that live report there at LAX as we've watched the extradition take place, finally back here on U.S. soil to be held on those charges. Thank you. And here's meteorologist Star Harvey as we look to the weather, where we're expecting some great weather as we celebrate the holidays. Harvey.
Yeah.
Harvey.
Yeah, we
Ms. Harvey.
Yeah, I'll take it. I got it. We do have some beautiful weather heading into this weekend, but also our holiday week, or the week before the holiday. Right now we do have some fog and clouds streaming across some of our area here locally, which does place us into that dense fog advisory. We'll be covering that here in the next hour, but also an air quality alert. Both of these will move with us into the weekend. Speaking of fog, we do have some visibility issues depending on where you are. Santa Monica, you're at just about 3 miles. That's how far you can see through some of this fog if you are out there walking the dog or driving out on the roads out there. At Long Beach, looking at about 4 miles, and you can see it's starting to seep into some of our interior sections as well. That dense fog advisory will be in place until tomorrow morning. Here's a look at some temperatures right now. Not feeling too bad depending on where you are. We got 60 degrees up in Burbank, 54 in Torrance. Torrance Torrance is also one of those areas that is seeing some of that dense fog out there. 61 in Chino and 59 in San Bernardino. Winds are on the calmer side moving into our Friday evening, about 3 to 5 miles per hour. As we shift into tonight, depending on where you are, it is going to be cold. For instance, up in Bombdale, the 30s, and then sub-freezing across some of our mountains. When I get back, we'll be talking about what to expect this weekend, but also taking a look into our Christmas week forecast. Laura?
Dar Harvey, thank you. The Department of Homeland Security is claiming that a victory lap reporting 10,000 undocumented people have been arrested in the LA area since the ICE raids began. Fox 11's Nick Garcia tonight with the story.
As the year winds down, 2025 in Los Angeles will be marked by massive ICE operations. The Department of Homeland Security now saying it has made more than 10,000 arrests in Los Angeles since June, claiming those include murderers, kidnappers, sexual predators, and armed carjackers. Critics question the data.
It might be true, we don't know, that 10,000 people have been apprehended in Los Angeles. We have to also remind people that doesn't mean that 10,000 people have been deported. Many of those people have been released.
Ron Goches represents Union del Barrio and has called out ICE tactics, including the so-called Operation Trojan Horse in Westlake back in August, in which agents jumped out of a Penske moving truck and detained people. The Department of Homeland Security has not said how many of the 10,000 have criminal records or how many were deported, but is touting the number as a success, given the pushback by local and state officials.
We are doing our targeted enforcement operations against criminal illegal aliens. Individuals that are in that area may be detained until we verify who they are, and then they are released.
DHS says the operations will continue, even as some question the legality of their tactics.
We know that they are absolutely doing, racial profiling. We know that they are kidnapping people off the streets, including many U.S. citizens who have documented and testified that they haven't been picked up for no other reason than the color of their skin.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Developing tonight, an LA mother was stabbed while changing her baby's diaper inside of a Macy's in New York City. The victim and her husband both work for the LA County Sheriff's Department. Police say the 38-year-old woman was attacked yesterday afternoon in the bathroom of Macy's Herald Square store. She was stabbed with a kitchen-type knife in the back and in the arm in an unprovoked attack. Thankfully, her 10-month-old baby wasn't hurt, and the mother was released from the hospital today. Her husband told the New York Post she's better.
Horrifying. It's heartbreaking, really. And as a woman, it's just upsetting. You just can't trust anyone. It's a shame.
That's truly shocking and terrible, especially around the holidays.
A 43-year-old homeless woman, Carrie Ahern from Massachusetts, has been charged with attempted murder and acting in a manner injurious to a child. Macy's says it's deeply saddened by that incident. The NYPD is leading the investigation. Sky Fox over La Cañada High School earlier today. That's where emergency crews responded to a call about a chemical incident. 2 people required medical attention, though the nature of the chemical involved remains unknown tonight. Hazmat teams were on the scene to manage the situation. Meanwhile, students and staff were evacuated from the building and could be seen on the field, as you see right there. Tonight, Arizona's Attorney General Chris Mays has warnings about hard drugs that are being designed to taste like candy. She says 1.5 pounds of fruity flavored cocaine was confiscated in her state after a convicted drug dealer allegedly used social media apps to sell it to teens. The Attorney General says it's sweet flavors like strawberry and banana that are being used as a marketing tactic by the cartel.
Mexican drug cartels are trying to expand their business outside the traditional young men or men by, selling this flavored cocaine. The notion is that young women might be attracted to, tropical flavors.
Mays is now calling on social media companies to be held accountable, as well, saying that their apps and algorithms are facilitating these drug deals. She also says this flavored cocaine is often laced with the deadly opioid fentanyl. The Dodgers make a big move to strengthen their bullpen, signing star closer Edwin Diaz to a 3-year, $69 million deal. Diaz, who opted out of his Mets contract, now holds the highest annual salary for a reliever at $23 million. After 7 seasons with the Mets, Diaz opted out of his contract to head to Los Angeles. Introduced today at Chavez Ravine, Diaz said that he's thrilled to join the 2-time defending champs.
I want to say thank you to the Mets organization for what they did for me in the last years. Really happy, what I did there. Now we are in a new family. We are in the Dodgers. I came here to win. That's my goal, try to win another World Series with this great team. So I'm really happy to be here, and let's go Dodgers.
We love the sound of that. The Dodgers are counting on him to close games and address a weak spot from last season. You'll remember, as they eye a potential World Series three-peat. A celebration of faith, tradition, and community in Linwood. Crowds gathered at Plaza Mexico to mark Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe. For the Catholic faithful, the event marks the Virgin Mary's miraculous appearance to Mexico's St. Juan Diego in 1531. The day is observed with processions, mariachi, and plenty of pan dulce.
I think what really impacts our community is the unity that allows everyone to come together and to celebrate in a very great space here at Plaza Mexico. So I think it's very dear and close to a lot of people's hearts.
She is the patron saint of the Americas, and celebrations began last night. Festivities also took place today at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in downtown LA. Still ahead at 9 o'clock, is LA traffic getting better? Well, I have my own thoughts. New data shows that may be the case, but don't get too excited. Plus, Christmas is still 2 weeks away, but are shoppers already burned out? We'll have the story coming up next. A suspect surrendered and is in custody tonight after a nearly 5-hour standoff with LA County Sheriff's deputies in Palmdale. This was the watery scene at 35th Street and Avenue R4. where the man crashed into a fire hydrant, you see right there, making a big mess. He was wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. He led deputies in a pursuit and then barricaded himself inside of a pickup truck with water shooting up in the air. Deputies had to evacuate the neighborhood for hours until they took the man into custody. That happened at around 1:30 in the morning. LA traffic remains notoriously bad, but there's a tiny bit of good news tonight. A new report from Inmates ranks LA as the 10th most congested city worldwide in 2025. Now that's down from 8th the year before. Experts point to ongoing remote work and fewer downtown commuters for the modest improvement. Even so, the average driver still lost 87 hours in traffic last year, and that costs about $1,600 per person. With Christmas less than 2 weeks away, the shopping frenzy is underway. But the 2025 holiday season will be defined not only by tighter budgets, but by what experts describe as brewing global cognitive burnout. Fox's Jerry Willis explains what that means.
The holidays can be stressful. Consulting and research firm Accenture's holiday shopping survey found 85% of consumers saying buying holiday gifts is so overwhelming they decided not to make a purchase. And 76% say they're overwhelmed by too many options.
And there'll be huge promotions. You won't have a clue what's going on. You're just going to try to get the best deal and make sure you get presents for everyone in the family.
Employees are dealing with a lot, too. Accenture found 69% of retail frontline workers reported exhaustion just going into the holiday season. Many cite angry or impatient customers as their top source of stress. Etiquette experts remind shoppers that seasonal helpers are not CEOs who can make policy changes. They recommend customers reduce their own stress by planning shopping trips ahead and leaving themselves time. And a little smile can go a long way. Despite all this, 87% of consumers say they plan to spend the same or more on holiday shopping, up from 75% last year, though that reflects higher prices. And 8 in 10 consumers plan to use generative artificial intelligence tools for holiday shopping. They'll be tracking price drops and will summarize product reviews.
Anyone who bets against the American consumer over Christmas is pursuing a fool's errand.
Accenture says 85% of online shoppers abandon their digital carts because of frustration or indecision, a costly trend for e-commerce retailers. Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
I guess we all can relate to that burnout, but you don't have to wait for the weather. Star Harvey standing by, our meteorologist, to tell us everything and make it just easy breezy. Right, Star?
That's right. You know, we do have a gorgeous weather, no matter which way you really look at it, moving into this weekend. We are expected to remain on the drier side, but also temperatures slightly above their averages. And we may still see some of this fog that's also lining not just our coast, but into some of the inland region moving into tomorrow morning. Here's a look at that dense fog advisory. It is in place until the 10 a.m. hour. Tomorrow, it includes most of our coastline, so you'll see everything that is highlighted in the blue color. This is just indicating that we may see our visibility at about 1/4 of a mile or less, so something to watch for. We continue with our air quality alert. This is due to a wood-burning ban. It is in effect from midnight to midnight, all of our blue region here. And, of course, that air quality for today came in at 71. As we move into our weekend, not too much of a big difference. Our index number will be at a 68. That does still place us in the moderate zone. Now, our temperatures right now, most of us are in the 50s as well as the 60s. We do have a few 30s on the map. In Big Bear, 32 degrees. We have some mid to upper 60s down in our low deserts. And our coastline is feeling like the mid to upper 50s right now. And as we shift gears into tonight, the coast will hold on to some of that fog. We may also see it in areas like the Torrance, Hawthorne, Gardena area, even moving over into Carson. again. I had someone hit me up on social media and say, hey, we got some of that out here as well. So look forward to that, but also some of that fog seeping into your Saturday morning. We will remain on the drier side through this weekend. If we take a look at our futurecast, we will still see this batch of moisture continuing to push into the Pacific Northwest over most of next week. As for us here in Southern California, we do remain on the drier side. When we look at some of our rainfall totals, even though we're going to remain dry, we're not really hurting for moisture, although anything we get, we'll take. We are looking at a surplus right now. We are above average for our water year. We're close to about 5 inches for the LA area. Here's a look at these temperatures for this weekend. 74 across the board both days. We will start off with some of that morning cloud and fog, but then we will get rid of it and get some of that partly cloudy situation by the time we get to our afternoons. Back to you.
Coming up, fans have been waiting 20 years, but we have the early reviews on Nintendo's latest arrival. Just in time for the holidays, Metroid Prime makes its anticipated arrival to Nintendo's newest gaming console. Fox's Eamon Dignam gives us a look at the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and what early reviews are saying about that game.
The latest in the Metroid Prime series is a hit. While Metroid as a whole has had multiple games, fans of the first-person Prime series have waited almost 2 decades for this. Early reports from the UK, where sales numbers hit charts weekly, show Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in third behind EA's Football Club and Nintendo's latest in the Mario Kart series. Meanwhile, we won't know US sales numbers until the end of the year. Metroid Prime is the third franchise release in support of the Switch 2 this year, behind Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. And its newest entry is a decidedly different game. Part Alien, part Star Wars, and all adventure. Players return behind the mask of Samus Aran to protect an ancient artifact that you find out early on leads to a dying alien race. Lush worlds await while you puzzle solve, use psychic powers, roll into a morph ball, or just shoot your way through the game. While overall reviews have been positive for the adventure, one complaint shines through. During the travel set pieces on your motorcycle Viola, there is no music unless you purchase a $30 accessory. Probably an unforced error that they might rectify in a patch. Next week, we'll wrap up the Game Awards 2025. For more stories like this, check out the Fox on Games podcast every Wednesday, wherever you download podcasts. In New York, Eamon Dignam, Fox News.
Whether you top it with marshmallows, whipped cream, or drink it straight, hot chocolate is king this holiday season. I know it's my personal favorite. A new report from Coffeeness finds hot cocoa is the most popular holiday drink in the U.S. The study analyzed Google search data by state and nationwide. Hot chocolate leads in 13 states, with apple cider and the espresso martini close behind. Still ahead right here, a last-minute vote at City Hall tonight keeps the LAPD hiring alive. Plus, the fired head coach of Michigan football is facing serious criminal charges. What his former boss, Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh, is saying tonight.
Across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Big decisions and fiery comments at LA City Hall tonight. Council members approving $1 million for new police hires. But not everyone's on board. Some say the money is not enough. Fox 11's Gina Silva reports.
The LAPD got additional funding, but it's nowhere near what the department was asking for.
And it's really just a reckless political theater.
And it's awful because what's being gamed here is this idea that we're trying to prohibit hiring. And that's the furthest from the truth.
The LA City Council spent much of its meeting debating whether to approve a $4.4 million request to hire more LAPD officers. Some council members expressed frustration at being rushed into a major funding decision.
Do we follow a budget process that's grounded in honesty and fiscal solvency, or do we set aside our process to meet an entirely manufactured deadline?
For me, the health and safety of our constituents is number one. This will help us start growing back to the number where I believe that this city needs to be.
In the end, the council approved only $1 million increase, allowing a new class of LAPD recruits to start training in January.
LAPD has been spread way too thin. From the fires on January 7th to the civil unrest to today, we've watched them struggle to balance everyday needs with those concurrent commitments to staff multiple ongoing events and emergencies. We have major world events coming. Residents and businesses all over the city are begging for more police resources. Our 911 and emergency response times are already abysmally low.
Some council members expressed that they did not like being rushed to make this decision, and they were also concerned about taking money away from the reserve funds, which are designated for emergencies. Reporting from downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
According to the mayor's office, Los Angeles, with nearly 4 million residents, has about 2 police officers for every 1,000 people. That's a little more than 8,000 officers. Now, by comparison, New York has 36,000 officers, and Chicago has 11,600 for its 2.7 million residents. New at 9 o'clock, a former LAPD commander, Corey Palka, won't face charges for tipping off CBS about a rape allegation against its ex-CEO, Les Moonves, in 2017. Now, that is according to the LA Times. Prosecutors citing insufficient evidence and expired statutes of limitations. 2 LAPD investigators claim department leaders mishandled the case, accusing former Chief Michael Moore of delaying investigations. Palka, nicknamed Captain Hollywood, admitted sharing confidential details but denied personal gain. Also new at 9 o'clock, police arresting 3 members of an Inland Empire religious group described as cult-like in connection with a missing man, another man's disappearance, and the 2010 death of a 4-year-old boy. Daryl and Shelley Martin, the group's leaders, and Rudy Moreno face murder charges. Authorities say the group is under investigation for suspected neglect, illegal weapons, and possible homicides. The boy died in the Martins' custody, and 2 former members vanished under suspicious circumstances. Investigations are ongoing. New tonight, the wrongful death trial in Santa Ana over Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs' 2019 overdose is nearing its end. Closing arguments are set for Monday in the lawsuit filed by Skaggs' family, who claim the team knew or should have known about drug use involving Skaggs and former employee Eric Kay, who is serving 22 years in prison. Angels president John Carpino testified today, saying he wished he had known about the drug use sooner. The team says it was unaware of Skaggs' addiction. Skaggs was just 27 years old. Tonight, a Purple Heart veteran's deportation is raising big questions in Washington. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem faced tough scrutiny after Sejun Park, an Army veteran, self-deported to South Korea following immigration threats. Park grew up in Los Angeles and legally immigrated as a child. He says he chose to leave voluntarily rather than face detention during a hearing yesterday. Representative Seth Magaziner pressed Noem to review his case. Park even joined the hearing via Zoom.
Secretary, how many United States military veterans have you deported?
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
We are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Sejun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran who was shot twice while serving our country in Panama in 1989. Can you please tell Mr. Park why you deported him?
Every one of them needs to be enforced.
But you understand that many veterans struggle with PTSD, many veterans struggle with substance abuse challenges. This man took 2 bullets for our country. Will you commit to at least looking at Mr. Park's case to see if you can help him find a pathway back to this country that he sacrificed so much for?
I will absolutely look at his case.
Critics argue veterans like Park deserve better treatment for their sacrifices. California is suing the Trump administration again, this time over its new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas. Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading a coalition of 20 attorneys general in that lawsuit. It challenges the Trump administration over what the coalition calls an unlawful policy imposing the fee on H-1B visa petitions. AG Bonta says the unprecedented $100,000 surcharge would create an illegal and costly barrier for employers trying to hire specialized, skilled foreign workers.
This was implemented by the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, without authorization from Congress, without the legally required notice and comment process, and in direct violation of the law.
President Trump issued a proclamation in September ordering the H-1B visa petition fee. The administration has not commented on that lawsuit. We're learning more tonight about Governor Gavin Newsom's upcoming autobiography. The book set for release in February and reportedly reveals deeply personal details about his life. Newsom says he's nervous about public reaction, but calls the book vulnerable and painful to write. The memoir comes as he considers a 2028 presidential run, offering voters a closer look at his life and challenges. Our state's last nuclear power plant, Diablo Canyon, will stay open till at least 2030. State regulators approved the extension in exchange for conserving 12,000 acres of land near San Luis Obispo. That's on the Central Coast. The plant provides nearly 9% of California's electricity, but faces criticism for its environmental impact, including harm to marine life. The plant could operate even longer if federal approvals are granted. And with that, we're going to talk about the weather again, and Star Harvey is standing by to talk about the weather for the weekend and in the upcoming week. Star.
Yeah, we're going to have some nice weather this weekend, Laura. We may start off with some of that morning cloud cover, but also some fog. But by the time we get to our afternoons, we're expecting to see some sunshine in the mix. Now, we are on trend for a cooler Saturday, but by the time we get to Sunday, we do have a secondary warming system moving in. This area of fog may also roll over into the start of our Saturday, so it most likely will be near our coast, but we can't rule out seeing some of it into our inland region. By the time we get to next week, we are expecting to be on the dry side as well, but we'll be looking at what comes Christmas week, and we may also see a chance of some rain pouring in. As far as today, we got plenty of sunshine out there. Temperatures currently right now at 55 degrees in the LA area. We're at 50 up in Palmdale, Santa Barbara at 55, and let's see, down in Santa Monica, 57 degrees. Shifting gears into tonight, we will have those fog issues still in place, and some of us will see the clear skies, especially across some of our valleys where we didn't really get those foggy coverings for today. Otherwise, our temperatures for tonight in the 40s and 50s. We'll have some 20s in our mountains, and the Antelope Valley will be in the 30s. As we get through this weekend, we will continue to see this moisture bound to the Pacific Northwest continue down here along the SoCal area. We do remain under dry conditions. This will be the case as we get through next week as well, where we do continue to see that storm track off to the north of us. So while we are on the drier side for next week, we are also looking at our temperatures next week to trend warmer than normal, and not just across the west coast here, but across a big chunk, a big portion, majority of the country actually. I talked about some rain for Christmas. Here's a look ahead at this. I went ahead and and looked at multiple models, our short range, but also our long range models. And this is what I was able to come up with. We are anticipating the likelihood of seeing some wet weather during the December 23rd week through the 25th. How much are we talking? We're talking about the potential for 1 to 3 inches. Again, we'll have to wait until we get closer to that week before we solidify how much we're actually going to see and if the rain will actually push through. Otherwise, last year we were dry, but also seeing our temperatures near average. For this weekend, expected to see temperatures at 74 for both Saturday as well as Sunday for the LA area. Back to you.
Still processing that. Heard that Chad Jessup told me, one of our equipment guys, when we were coming off the field on Thursday. So still processing that, like a lot of people, I'm sure.
Chargers head coach and former Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh's reaction to his former assistant's arrest. Sharon Moore was taken into custody Wednesday shortly after he was fired as head coach for allegedly having an affair with a staff member at the University of Michigan. During his arraignment today, a judge setting a $25,000 bond for Moore, and according to police records obtained by Fox News, he was later released. Fox's Garrett Tenney has more tonight.
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Sharon Banfield Moore.
Former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore's fall from grace on full display this afternoon as he appeared virtually from the Washtenaw County Jail to face charges of home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering.
Are we understood on the no contact and no go to, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
On Wednesday, school officials fired Moore for cause, terminating his $30 million contract at one of the most prestigious programs in college sports, after his executive assistant submitted evidence of a years-long affair with the coach, who is married with 3 young daughters. Prosecutors say the 32-year-old assistant ended the relationship on Monday, and that on Wednesday, after losing his job, Moore went to his former mistress's apartment, broke in, and grabbed butter knives and kitchen scissors.
And began to threaten his own life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life.
Prosecutors say Moore eventually left when his ex-lover threatened to call the police, who also received a call from Moore's wife.
For the Pittsfield units referring to domestic, we just got a call from S1's wife in Ann Arbor saying that the subject is suicidal, reference losing his job today.
Both prosecutors and the university say their investigations are ongoing, and they're asking anyone with information to send it in.
I think it's a little bit disturbing, and I think it sets a really bad tone for the university.
I think it's kind of crazy. He has a wife and kids, and he did what he did.
Sharon Moore is now out on a $25,000 bond under strict orders to continue his mental health treatments and not have any contact with his former assistant. His next court appearance will be in person on January 22nd. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Check your spice rack. Lucky Foods cinnamon powder is being recalled for possible lead contamination. The FDA says the 40-gram packages were sold in 15 states, including California, between April and September. Right now, no illnesses have been reported, but lead exposure can cause serious health issues, especially in children. If you have this product, return it or throw it away. For more details, visit the FDA's website. Another recall, potential lead contamination of aluminum saucepans. Town Food Service Equipment Company, based in Brooklyn, is recalling 4 sizes of saucepans. They ran from 1 to 3 quarts, sold in over 30 states, including California. The FDA says these pans, distributed from January 2023 to November 2023, could allow lead to leach into food. So far, no illnesses have been reported. An ancient lake makes a stunning return in Death Valley after record-breaking rainfall. Up next, see how Lake Manly, once 600 feet deep, has reappeared. And find out if it's deep enough for kayaking this time. Plus, a 550-pound black bear, you see him right there, still living under a family's home tonight. Damaging pipes, hissing at people who get too close, and drawing crowds of onlookers. An update from the homeowner, when we come back. New at 9, a surfer bitten by a shark this morning off North Salmon Creek Beach in Sonoma County. Officials say he was 300 yards from shore when it happened. Take a look at this damage to the surfboard. Now, despite that attack, he paddled back to shore and drove himself to the hospital. Truly amazing. Waves were 8 to 12 feet high at the time. The beach is now closed for 48 hours as a safety precaution. And scientists in Monterey Bay capturing this rare footage of a 7-armed octopus. Check this out. Using a remotely operated vehicle, researchers spotted the deep-sea creature nearly 2,300 feet below the surface, holding and eating a jellyfish. This is only the 4th sighting of this species by the team in 40 years. Known as Halophron atlanticus, the octopus thrives in the ocean's twilight zone and grows up 13 feet long, surviving on a surprising diet of gelatinous animals. Hope I said that right. Well, tonight, a huge black bear is still living under an Altadena home more than a week after we first brought you this story. The homeowner says that he tried to lure the bear out with food, but it didn't work. Fish and Wildlife still has not been able to get to the house to help out. Now, in our 6 o'clock news, I got a chance to talk with the homeowner, Ken Johnson. Let's listen to what he had to say. And how are you holding up after this week-long ordeal?
Oh, it's been difficult. It's quite a ride. You know, there's ups and downs, and it's been tough.
When you say it's been tough, do you mean that you're not sleeping, that you're anxiety-ridden? I mean, I have to admit, if I were in your place, I'd be a little afraid to leave the house.
Yeah, as long as I hear him under there, I feel like I'm safe to get from my car, my door to my car, and my car to my door, and it's the sounds underneath the house that are very nerve-wracking, the creaking and bumping, and you know, I don't know what he's doing under there, but it can't be good.
Now, I had heard, and we're looking at video of him right now, he looks quite menacing, I must say. I had heard that he's done this before, that he's been to another house and sort of barricaded himself underneath. Have authorities given you any sense as to why he likes to do this?
Well, I think they just call it denning. I guess they're used to being in dark, secluded places. And yes, it's true that I found out a lot of neighbors have seen this bear and have had him under their house. And this is what he likes to do. And I don't know why he just picked mine this time, but he's there now.
Lucky you. Now, you just gave us new video of the bear pulling out a pipe connected to a meter. What kind of traps are you using to lure the bear out?
Well, I don't have any traps, and I tried a bunch of, you know, coyote roadrunner style things, but trying to blow ammonia under there. But when I tested it under myself, I couldn't even smell it. It just evaporates. And I made plenty of noise, but he's just so used to that type of thing. But Fish and Wildlife did come out and put a bear cage in an air opening of the crawl space and the walls and trees around it to try to lure him out. And that video that you just showed was last night when it got close to the opening again, and he did come out for a moment and then just went back in.
Heck of a story. Well, a shocking discovery at Cedars-Sinai. Doctors finding a baby growing outside the uterus while treating a massive tumor. Tonight, we hear from the mother at the center of this incredible story. An ancient lake reappears in Death Valley after record rainfall. Lake Manly, once 600 feet deep over 100,000 years ago, has returned to Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America. Recent storms brought over 2 inches of rain, breaking century-old records. Check out this visual from NASA. This is what the lake looked like in early November. Compared this month after the rain, while the lake is shallow now, it's been deep enough for kayaking in recent years. Right now, some roads in the park are closed due to flooding, but most attractions remain open for visitors. And big news for Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen. The 29-year-old actress just announced that she's pregnant. Haley sharing the happy update and this video in her Substack newsletter. Haley, known for roles in Pitch Perfect and Hawkeye, married Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen just 6.5 months ago. Congratulations to the happy couple. And another baby story, but this one with a twist. Last night on LA Live News, we first told you about 41-year-old Ryu Lopez, who was shocked to learn she was pregnant while preparing to remove a 22-pound ovarian tumor. Well, tonight, Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards has filed a report on the new mom and her miracle baby.
We just praise God every single day for this miracle.
A miracle indeed. Meet baby Ryu Lopez, born against all odds. His 41-year-old mom, Suze, didn't know she was pregnant. Very good. Until just days before his extraordinary birth, while getting ready for a surgery to have a large cyst removed.
Routinely, you just do a pregnancy test, and it was positive. So I was like, well, this can't be right. It hasn't been positive in 17 years, you know, so I was a bit of a shock. Checked it again, positive, checked it again, third time positive. I was like, okay, well, ovarian cancer can be false positive. So I wasn't even believing it at that point.
After an ultrasound showed tiny ribs developing outside her uterus, doctors confirmed a rare abdominal pregnancy, which is extremely risky for both mom and baby. Suze broke the news to her husband, Andrew, at a Dodgers game.
I was thinking she's probably 2-3 months far along, and I had plenty of time. But she started to feel a little funny, and I was concerned, so I made her stop by the Cedars-Sinai ER. And as I was parking, I was also on the phone, and she's like, hey, you have to hurry up and come because they're bumping me up. I guess something's going on that you need to be here for. And I'm like, okay.
It turns out she was already full term.
It was very shocking because I initially thought she was 2 to 3 months pregnant, and turns out she was 41 weeks.
A team of about 30 experts rushed in to pull off the highly coordinated, complex delivery and surgery, removing a 20-plus pound cyst and 8-pound Ryu.
It's so awesome and amazing. I just love him so much. And to see my child, you know, alive and breathing, even if he cries, it's like, wow, your lungs work.
The name Ryu, inspired by a former Dodger pitcher and a character in the movie Street Fighter.
We liked it so much because, you know, it connects with the fact that he's a fighter and also the fact that we were at a Dodger game, so it worked out.
Reporting for Fox 11, I'm Chelsea Edwards.
Such an amazing story. So happy for that family. And he actually has an 18-year-old big sister. So one amazing family right there. Thanks for watching LA Live News tonight. Our 10 p.m. newscast is just minutes away on Fox 11. We'll see you there.